What is up, my viewers? Spang here, bringing you the M.I.S.C for the month of August 2015. Now, it's been a while since I've actually done one of these videos. You guys didn't get a proper one for June, and there was absolutely none in July, but it's about time I provided you all with an update. And there's a lot to cover. I'm going to try and do my best to make it expedient. I really don't want this to be longer than 10 minutes, but we're still going to cover all the topics that I hope to get around to. First of all, you're noticing probably some changes to my channel, such as the Let's Plays finally getting around to being done, although somewhat sporadic. I would like them to be uploaded at least every other day, and eventually I will get there. Right now, unfortunately, I cannot promise you that, but look forward to possibly having that happen. I know they're not huge with everyone, but I do them because I enjoy them, and that's kind of the point of my YouTube channel to begin with. But as you can also tell, still committing to my original content, World of Tanks commentaries. I still enjoy those, and so I'm not going to stop. At the same time, Do You What Mate? If you recall my previous M.I.S.C video, I talked about it. It's kind of a parody, highlights MLG, kind of just a fun series, making fun of different moments. I mean, some of you guys have actually started submissions for that before I even put out any submission rules, and thank you, they will get used. Just remember, I haven't looked at those emails yet. There's just so many emails that you guys have sent in that I haven't been able to really look through them thoroughly. I typically look at them as needed when you guys send them in, and I actually get around to doing a commentary on it. That's usually when I look at it, not before, and typically only a couple times after to do some editing and such. But Do You What Mate will have its own guidelines for submission, but the most important thing to keep in mind if you're going to submit before those guidelines come out is that I need some sort of idea of what you're looking for in terms of a parody, where the clip is, where the exciting moment is, and what you were thinking is maybe as a creative thing, like maybe, oh, right here, go full MLG, or play this music, or like have this feeling. Like, it doesn't have to be super specific, but just enough to give me some sort of at least vague artistic direction. And granted, if you give me nothing, I can still probably work with it as long as you tell me which time frame I'm specifically looking for. Otherwise, I might choose another random moment in the game I thought was funny for whatever reason, but you never know. Like I said, I've talked about the Let's Plays, and there will be other projects on my channel, and going into that, Armored Warfare, I've been playing the closed beta test for a little bit, early access as it is. And it's alright. Actually, I thoroughly enjoy it. Just right now, World of Tanks has been a huge commitment. Now that I'm getting back into it, I moved into my new place here and kind of getting settled in, unpacked, just situated. As you couldn't tell, my surroundings have changed if you've been keeping up with my Let's Plays. Sorry for the little desk bump there. But you will have noticed certain little changes here and there to the background as I get moved in. So it's a long process, and that's one of the reasons the Let's Plays have been inconsistent, and even to an extent the commentaries have been a little bit inconsistent. But, you know, just some issues there as well. I did record some Armored Warfare gameplay. Unfortunately, Sony Vegas isn't liking it. It's not rendering properly, and I just can't get that footage out there. So I'm going to have to start over. I wanted to record my first impressions for you guys, just my actual first games, but the audio quality came out terribly, and I tried my best to compensate for that, and then I tried to render it, and the file size was just too large, and Sony Vegas kept getting hung up, and I'm not sure if it's a limitation of the software or my hardware, probably a little bit of both. And so that won't see the light of day, but we'll see if I can at least get around to doing some streaming. And I am going to do that, not this upcoming weekend. This should be uploaded relatively shortly, like the day after I've actually recorded it. It's actually nighttime right now, but you can't tell because of my curtains. And what was I gonna say on that? Yeah, this video coming out very shortly, and you guys should be able to see streaming. That's what I was talking about, when it's kind of all said and done, ideally at the end of next week. So the weekend of the 15th and 16th, I should be set up. Unfortunately, I have some military obligations that weekend, so I'm hoping to be set up by then to do it, but I will not be able to stream. Streaming should probably start the weekend afterwards, and I'll probably be doing a little bit here and there. I'll just put up a quick announcement video on my YouTube channel when I start streaming, and what I am streaming, it'll probably either be Armored Warfare or World of Tanks, and you'll be able to see one or the other, depending on if you want. Now, on the subject of recording issues and issues in general, if you've been following the Republic Commando Let's Play series, you know I've had some issues with some lost footage, some something's not quite recording right, and I've run into a little bit more of that. First, it was just because I guess I done goofed during the move. I didn't transfer some files right, or whatever happened. I lost some of my original footage. And then I re-recorded it, and I did play it through to completion again. And then I done goofed because Shadow Play, I guess I hit the hotkey to stop recording at some point, or some reason or other happened. And I don't know if that's exactly what happened, because there were still other recordings before and after, so maybe there was just a hiccup in my graphics card or something, but it's hard to say for sure. But gonna have to re-record that. Still, you should see that uploaded in the next week or two to completion. The game's not that long, so that should be done relatively short, in a short time. The Dust Let's Play is progressing, but as you can tell, it hasn't been uploaded for probably about a week and a half now, and needs to get done sometime soon, which will be committed to a bit more after the Republic Commando Let's Play is all said and done. Again, you can probably expect to see those uploaded side by side for the most part, and then after that, probably Spec Ops Line or some other game will be started, and we'll see what happens. Still, gotta get along with those sort of issues. Now, as you can tell, I actually failed to take notice. Short of the video is Daft Pwn 3, and some of you who watch my channel know I am a fan of the pony scene, you know, the brony scene, as it were, and some of you will hate me for it, and you know what, I accept your hate. It's not for everyone, but at the same time, live your own life. I mean, I don't judge other people for liking weird things, and I like my own fair share of weird things, but everyone's weird in their own way, and it's whatever. Still, if you are a brony fan, and you will be at BronyCon this weekend, I will be there. You will see me in my multicam get up for one day, and then another day you'll see me running around in some DJ white. You'll actually see my name on my back. It won't say Spang, but it will say Spangle, which is another alias I go by, and you'll see that jersey running around here and there. So if you see me and you're a fan and you happen to be at that convention, definitely stop me, say hi, and we can, you know, talk about this, that, or the other. At least just, you know, have a nice pass by and shake each other's hands or whatever. If you're a hugger, I'll give you a hug. I don't care. But figure I'd put it out there. I mean, there's only 800 some odd of you guys who are fans, and only much fewer of you watch these update videos. But still, figure it out, put it out there, and see who maybe, you know, might as well give someone the opportunity rather than not. Because what, it took me all of a minute to say that, and it's not really that much effort on my part. Next on the agenda list is Patreon. Now, I am starting up a Patreon, but the thing is, don't worry, I'm not limiting my content by any means. In fact, I'm looking to you guys for a little bit of help, because the only thing about Patreon is I started one up, and if you like my videos and you want to support me, you want to help me commit more kind of full time to it, because getting into my life situation a little bit, I am part-time guard and I'm looking to go full-time school, and that means I'm going to also possibly have to get a part-time job. And if I can just get enough support on Patreon, I won't need a part-time job. I can commit more to putting out videos. And that's basically what Patreon is for. If you like my videos and you want to just throw like a couple dollars my way every month, you know, a couple dollars from a few hundred people is a few $100s, and I can use that money to initially pay living expenses so I don't have to get a part-time job, and I can commit to giving you guys content just as a regular kind of sort of deal. I won't have anything else getting in the way, really, other than school and guard, but those are only going to take up so much of my time. Like I said, I would need a part-time job otherwise, and I will probably get one until the day comes, if it ever comes, when Patreon actually helps me pay the bills. But it will go towards paying living expenses, and it will go towards, once it passes that living expense amount, towards upgrades for my computer so I can bring you higher quality content. I'm already doing my best to bring you 60 frames per second videos when I can, but it's a long render process and it takes a while and it's a bit intensive on my computer. I could definitely use an upgrade to Sony Vegas, because right now I'm using 12 and I think 13 is out, maybe 14. I haven't been keeping track, but stuff like that. And then after that, after I got even more money, if I got more money, I'm just saying speculation here. If the date came when I got past that milestone for upgrades and such, any money left over would be left to you guys to decide what conventions you want me to go to for like meetups and stuff, and anything that I would host there is sort of a meetup, like maybe a little event or get together. And again, you guys would have input on that. The patrons would have input on what conventions I went to and what actually happened at those conventions while I was there. It would help pay for my admission and travel, obviously, to said conventions, but it would be something we'd work out as it would happen. Now, I said I'm going to need your guys' help a little bit on this, because if you like the idea of having a Patreon, I don't really have ideas for rewards. Like, what I do, there really isn't any sort of reward system I can implement without limiting kind of access to you guys, which I swear I will never do. Right now, the replay system thing is kind of free and open. There is no patron kind of like dollar amount tied to it, and I want to keep it that way. I don't want to limit you guys from sending me content, because the way I see it, you guys are doing me a favor, and I shouldn't charge you guys to do me a favor. But aside from, like, I put a $1 just standard donation amount, and it's like you get a mention at the end of like these update videos, like in a scrolling list. Like, I would say thanks to all my supporters. Take a look at everyone here on this list is a name of my supporter, and it'd be like scrolling along the side of the screen or something and doing something like that. But I don't really have any ideas for rewards. If you guys do, please let me know, comment section or email me or whatever. I mean, you guys have access to that sort of information because you send me replays, and on my YouTube channel, my description of my YouTube channel, my about page or whatever it's called, it does have my actual quote-unquote business email for my YouTube account, because, you know, it's so professional, super professional. Again, the running joke on my channel, which was basically started between me and M.I.S.C during the Let's Go Tanking series, and you know what, I'm hoping to get another one of those out shortly. Still, I'm starting to run a little bit long, 12 minutes here, but the other thing I want to talk to you guys about, you probably noticed some changes to the outro, the end of my videos, where I stopped saying, you know, if you like this video, click that like button. If you want to see more, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. But I figure, you know, if you're going to like my video, you're going to like it regardless of me telling you to. If you're going to subscribe for more content, you're going to do it regardless of me telling you to. You all are intelligent individuals. Well, for the most part. I mean, it's the internet. There's always someone out there who's gonna play the part of the dumbass regardless, if, you know, just for whatever reason. But those people aside, I figured trim the fat a little bit, make it so you guys aren't sitting through me rambling as much. I mean, that's kind of what these are turning into, is my ramble outlets of sorts, if that hasn't been evidenced by the 13 minutes I've been going now. But, yeah, it's just pretty much, I'm looking to trim the fat, streamline my YouTube experience to where you guys don't hear me saying pointless things as much. Now, being my type of personality, I'm very talkative, and I do tend to ramble and say pointless things where I can cut the obvious ones, the ones that are just repetitive in every video. Certainly, why not get rid of them altogether and make your guys' video experience even better? But that's gonna pretty much about do it for this video, except for the video quote, which is going to be from Half-Life 2, actually. And it also, well, no, I'll get into that after the quote. But the quote of this video from Half-Life 2 is, "How many are there in you? Whose hopes and dreams do you encompass? Could you but see the eyes in your own, the minds in your mind, you would see how much we share." And that's just really a powerful quote to me, because it just speaks to the influence that everyone has on everyone else, you know, either for good or for bad, and the amount of people that go into making you who you are. And it's really a lot deeper than you would expect from a video game. But, I mean, you know, video games can surprise us. They're a maturing art form, a maturing form of media. And every now and again, people do something pretty amazing with their message in video games. Not all video games have a message, and they don't need to. But those that do can impact us and become part of that whole philosophy. But if you have a suggestion for what my quote for next video should be, definitely put that in the comment section below, and I will give it all the consideration in the world. Of course, if there are multiple submissions, I will have to weigh them against each other and decide which one goes into the next video, but that does not mean it will not go into the video after that. And of course, I can only pick ones that truly speak to me and I feel are aligned with my own beliefs and my own kind of outlook. But that aside, now on the final note, this is the final note for this video, and then I will, stop my random ramblings here. ASQ, asking Spang questions or answering subscriber questions, however way you want to spin the acronym, is still a thing. So if you have any not suggestions, but any questions for me, there will be a link to the most recent ASQ, which is actually pretty old at this point, in the description below. And it's basically a system on until I get 5 questions, or a month has passed with 5 or more questions, whichever comes last, then a new ASQ will be uploaded. And I am going to start including questions from streams, because even when I was doing some practice streams, I was getting asked a few questions by a few passerbys who were, subscribed to my channel. Some of you actually stopped by, and I appreciate that. But, it wasn't an official stream. It's just me trying it out and getting settings sorted and getting things figured out. And there'll be a little bit more of that next week. And so, if you stop by, you stop by. It's whatever. It's not going to be anything official. But it will be live streaming. Still, those will be recorded, those will be accessible to me, and those will be included in the ASQ. So I think that's going to make the ASQ a bit more accessible to a lot more people, because they'll just ask me random questions while I'm streaming, and those will make it into that video, and it'll make it a lot more easy for you guys to get to know me if you want to. And that's not saying, it's just something I'm doing to make myself more of a real person and reach out to you guys. It goes on back to that philosophy I share of, it just being real and not insincere and not putting on any sort of faces, just absolutely being a real human being with you guys. And if you're into that, cool. If you're not, and you just want to watch me for my entertainment value, also awesome, to each their own. But that's definitely going to do it for this video. Now, I've wasted far more than my fair share of your time, with 17 minutes and 32 seconds gone. This has been Spang, and I am signing off.